Okay, good afternoon, one and all. So we'll start our today's lecture. So before starting the lecture, you please reply in the chat box. So whether you are getting my voice and again the screen, please reply in the chat box. So are you getting my voice and screen? Yes. So we'll take the review. So what we have covered in the yesterday's lecture. So the what is data mining? So this definition we have covered in the previous lecture. So what are the alternative names for the data mining? Okay. So the alternative names for the data mining is that KDD, again the knowledge extraction, data or parent analysis, data archaeology, data dredging, okay, information harvesting, and again the business intelligence. So all these are the alternative names for the data mining are there. And what are the potential applications of the data mining? Okay, that also we have listed yesterday, and we have studied the very detailed about potential applications of data mining. So the major parts are there. It is used for data analysis and decision support. Okay. So how it can be used for the data analysis and decision support? So that these are the following some examples also we have studied for the market analysis and management, target marketing, customer relationship management, market basket analysis, cross selling, market segmentation. Okay. And again it is also used for the risk analysis and management. So for the risk analysis and again for the management, so the forecasting, so weather forecasting, and again the customer retention, improved underwriting, quality control, and again the competitive analysis. Okay. And it is also useful for fraud detection and again the detection of unusual patterns here. Okay. So the other applications also we saw that the text mining, web mining, stream data mining, and again the bioinformatics, and again the biodata analysis. So these are the major applications areas of the data mining, and what exactly the market analysis and how the management is going to done. Okay. So that also we have studied in the yesterday's lecture. So this part also we have covered. So the knowledge discovery process, KDD process. So what exactly the KDD process is there? So from the cleaning and again the integration that is done at the databases. After that we are storing in the data warehouse. So in the data warehouse we are going to store the flat files. After that we have the process of selection and transformation. So the data mining, and again the final we have the evaluation and a presentation. So these are the process we are going to follow for the knowledge discovery a process here. Okay. So this part also we have covered. So this is the KDD process. So what is the KDD process here? So the KDD process is follow the different 7 steps here. So the first step is that the data cleaning. Second one is the data integration. Third, data selection. Fourth, data transformation. And again, the fifth one is the data mining. And again, the sixth one is the pattern evaluation. And the last one is the knowledge presentation. Okay, these are the steps of the KDD process. It is there. Okay, so you should know that what are the steps in the KDD process. Okay, you can remember this one. There are total 7 steps are there in case of the KDD process here. Okay. Again, after that, we saw the relationship between the data mining and again the business intelligence. So, what are the relationship? It is there. So, one side it is shown that increasing potential to support business decision, and again at the right side it is shown that database administrator, data analyst, business analyst, and again the end user here. Okay. And at the bottom, it is shown that the data sources are from the paper, files, web documents, scientific experiments, database systems. Okay, all these are the data sources are there. And after that, we have the data pre-processing, that is the integration, data warehouse. Okay. After completion of this step, again we have the data exploration. So in case of the data exploration, we have the statistical summary, querying, and again the reporting. Querying means you can fire the queries on the database, okay, for capturing the required information here. Okay, that is done by using the SQL queries. Okay, we know the structured query languages query. Okay, and again after that our subject is there. Okay, our work is there, the data mining. So after finishing all these three steps, we are going to have the data mining. The data mining is nothing but the information discovery. And again after that, whatever the information we have discovered, that information we are going to present in to the users. Okay. So that is for the visualization techniques we are going to use for the data presentation. Again, we have the decision making. The final is that about the decision making. So this is nothing but the data mining and again the business intelligence. So suppose if we want to grow your business at the vertical, okay, then the data mining concept is the very much important, okay, in our market. Now the next point is about the typical data mining system architecture. So what are the requirements for implementation of the data mining here? Okay. Otherwise, you can consider that what are the components of the data mining here. Okay. Now, suppose we can see here the one by one. So, what is the typical mining system architecture? Okay. So, this is the architecture, but before that, we'll see that what exactly it is there. So, the a database. So, what are the requirements we can see here? The data mining system architecture, what it concludes. Okay, it is going to have the database and again the data warehouse. Okay, again the triple W, that is the World Wide Web or other information a repository, okay, for storing the database. Okay, so you can see here, suppose we have the database and again one more concept is there, the data warehouse. Okay, so what is the difference between the database and again the data warehouse here? Now see here, so whatever the database is there, in that database we are going to store whatever the generated data is there, as it is we are going to consider. It may be the raw data, okay, it may be the any unwanted data, the everything we are going to save at the any file or in the memory location. Okay, that is called as the database here. And what is the data warehouse here? Now here we are going to apply the data pre-processing onto the database here. So what is the data pre-processing means? Just we are going to clean the data. Cleaning the data means we are going to remove the unwanted data. Okay, we are going to remove the wrong data there from the database, and that database we are going to save by using the flat files on the memory here. Okay, that storage is called as the data warehouse. Okay, you remember this one, what is the concept of the data warehouse? So the data warehouse contains the data in the flat files, and again it is the cleaned data is there. So this data doesn't contain the any wrong information. Okay, the everything is the correct data we are going to consider in case of the data warehouse. So that's why there is a difference between the database and again the data warehouse. Okay, you can remember this one, the database, it includes all the information. It may be the wanted, it may be the unwanted, but in the data warehouse, just we are going to consider the only a corrected data here. Okay, so that data is cleaner data is there. Okay, that we are going to store in case of the data warehouse. The triple W, so the triple W means World Wide Web. All the web servers, they are going to maintain their data. Means what, in what way they are going to maintain the data here? Suppose we are going to use the image, video, tables, okay, in case of the XML, okay. In the extensible markup language, we are going to store all these data here. So that's why we are also going to consider the web servers here, okay, or other information repository. Means for any other information, suppose we have, that also we are going to consider. Means this is the one component of the data mining system architecture here. Now the next one is the database or data warehouse server, fetch and combine data. Okay. So we require the database or the data warehouse server. We can fetch it and again we can combine the data here. And again the knowledge base. So what is the knowledge base here? So turn the data into meaningful groups according to the domain knowledge. Suppose there is a similar type of the database is there. So the knowledge base is that do we need to convert or we need to turn the data into the meaningful groups. So the meaningful groups means what? Suppose we have the similar kinds of the database. Okay, that similar kinds of the database we are going to create the separate groups here. Okay, like that we can have the the meaningful groups according to the domain knowledge here. So the data related to the Java we can store into the Java files. The data related to the Python language, you can store that data into the Python. It is suppose it is related to the XML, then we can save all the data into the XML. Okay, like that. Means we need to create the groups. And again, next one is the data mining engine. So what is the engine here? So engine is not like at the we are going to see the engines in the car or into the any vehicle. Okay, the engine is nothing but here we are going to consider the term as the search engine. Okay, the search engine. Suppose we know about the Google search engine. So the Google search engine also where it is going to use the full of machine learning algorithms along with the data mining techniques here. Okay, the Google search engine is also one example of the data mining. Okay, the next one is the pattern evaluation module. So what is the pattern evaluation module here? So the first is that what is the module? Okay, or what is the pattern here? See, the pattern is nothing but where you are going to find out the similar types of the database. Okay, suppose we have the data in case of the only statistical format, then you can say that the pattern is the same for all the database here. Suppose we are having all the data into the text format, okay, that we can say the pattern is the same for all the into the text format here. Okay, like that we need to identify the modules for identifying the patterns here. Okay, now the user interface. So what is the user interface? So the user interface is the very much important. Okay, suppose there is no any user interface is provided by the particular system, then it is very difficult to access the database here. Now suppose I want to search something from the internet. Okay, then definitely I am going to log into the internet and I am going to open the Google search engine. So the Google search engine is called as the user interface. By using that Google search engine, I am going to find out the required information from the internet here. Okay, that is called as the user interface. That is called as one example of the GUI, graphical user interface. Okay, so these are the all the components of the data mining system architecture. Means what are the requirements or what are the components of the data mining system architecture here? So we require the database or the data warehouse, web servers, or any other information repository. And again, we need to have the database or the data warehouse server. Again, we require the knowledge base. So the knowledge base is nothing but that turn the data into meaningful groups according to the domain knowledge. And again, we require the data mining engine, pattern evaluation module, and again the user interface. So all are the considered as the components of the data mining system architecture here. Okay. Now here we see whatever the components we have shown here, these all these components we are going to show with the help of the diagram here. See, there are the input and the other side is the output here. So what input is going to follow here and what output is going to do here. Okay. Now here you can see that the first of all we need to have the user interface. Again after that we have the pattern evaluation, the data mining engine, and again the database or the data warehouse server. And after that background of this database or the data warehouse, what we are going to do here, we are going to do the data cleaning, integration and selection. Okay. Here we have the different sources of the database. Okay. So all these okay, whatever the ovals are there, all these ovals we are going to consider as the different sources of the database. So what are the different sources of the database here? The database itself, data warehouse, world wide web, and again other information repositories. And after having all these kinds of the data sources here, on that we are going to apply the data cleaning, integration, and again the selection here. Okay. And combinedly whatever all these databases there, that combinedly we are going to consider as the database or data warehouse server. Okay. Here you can see the arrows, the database is connected to the database or the data warehouse server. Data warehouse is also connected to this world wide web, is also connected to the database, and again other information repositories also it is connected to the database here. Now, after creating this database or data warehouse, now here you can apply the data mining engine, pattern evaluation, and again the user interface. So this input arrow, the user is going to fire the eg- queries here. Okay. So we are going to send the queries to the database or the data warehouse server, and that query is executed by the database or the data warehouse server, and the output is given to the user through user interface. So the user interface is nothing but your search engines. Okay. Search engine or the any other search engine you can consider here. Okay. So this is called as the a typical data mining system architecture. Okay. So after that pattern evaluation and again the data mining engine, we are going to apply the knowledge base. For here also we are going to capture the knowledge here. So this is the diagram for a typical data mining system architecture. So what it contains, the typical data mining system architecture, the user interface, pattern evaluation, data mining engine, and again the a database or data warehouse. So in the database or in the data warehouse, we are going to combine the different kinds of the sources of the database. That is the database, data warehouse, World Wide Web, and again the other information repositories. So we are going to have the combination of all these four types of the sources of the database, and we are going to create the only one, a big data, a warehouse, a server here. Okay. So this is called as the a data mining system architecture. Okay. Just I will give the 2 minutes for the time for this. Just you draw the a typical data mining system architecture in your notebook here. Okay. This is very important. Now here we can see the next point, that is the confluence of multiple disciplines. So the confluence of multiple disciplines means these are also the components of the data mining here. The confluence means we are going to integrate all the sources which are required for the data mining here. Okay, so that's why it is called as the confluence of multiple disciplines. The meaning of the confluence is that we are going to integrate all the sources what are the required for the data mining at the single place. That single place is called as the data mining here. So what are the other sources you can see here? The database technology it is required for data mining. The statistics. The statistics means it is the information in the form of the statistics. So this is also required for the data mining. The machine learning. So the machine learning algorithms are also required for the data mining. The other disciplines we are going to consider the visualization technique. So the visualization techniques are nothing but how you are going to represent the data or the knowledge to the end user. Okay, that is called as the visualization process. That is also required for the data mining and again the information science. Okay, all these multiple resources are required for the data mining here. Okay, and so we can see here the what are the major or what is the major confluence of multiple disciplines. Now here you can see that the data mining system performs the true data mining. Okay, so sometimes what happens, suppose in the Google search engine, whatever you are going to search any information, sometimes what happen, we will not get the any required or the desired result there. Why? It is because that result is not stored in the database of the Google search engine. Okay, like that it is there. And whatever, so we are in the software system means we can say that whatever the data mining techniques we are going to use, that all the data mining techniques doesn't provide the true data. Okay, you can say this is the 99.99 percentage or the 95 percentage, but it in the form of the more than the 90 percentage. Okay, so when you can make the analysis of this one after completion of our subject, then at that time we are in position to compare all the data mining techniques, and we can come with the conclusion which technique or the which data mining technique is the best for giving the results. Okay, like that. So in addition to this data mining, we can also use the machine learning techniques for the data mining. Okay, that is also possible here. So we are in, suppose we can see in the second or the third chapter. Okay, the some machine learning algorithms are also included in the data mining. Okay, that algorithms also we are going to consider in the second and again the third chapter here. Okay, at that time also we are going to see the details of this one. Okay, now on what kinds of the data we can apply the data mining techniques, or we can do the process of the data mining here. Okay, now you can see that, so the database oriented. Okay, what is the database here? So the database is nothing but it is oriented data sets and applications. Means it may be the relational database, the data warehouse, and again the transactional database here. Okay, the relational database means it is what are the tuples are there. Okay, the tuples must be related with each other. Okay, that is called as the RDBMS, the relational database management system. The data warehouse where the cleaning is already done and it is stored in the database. Okay, that is called as the data warehouse. Transactional databases. The transactional databases means, suppose the you can take the for example of the your stock marketing. Okay, the stock marketing is called as the transactional database here. and advanced data sets and advanced applications. So the advanced data sets. So just you can type the KDD process in the Google search engine. So you will get a number of data set there. So whatever the performing the any analysis, we are having the data sets. Okay, just you can download the data sets and just you can make the analysis of that data set here. Okay. For example, I can give that the Kaggle data set is there. Okay. So the Kaggle is also one a data mining analysis tool is there. So in that Kaggle, we are having the ready-made data sets are there. Okay. So the data sets are available into the internet. Okay. You can download it and you can make the analysis of that data set here. Suppose for your project purpose, we require any data set. So we cannot create it. We cannot make the survey. For the survey, we require the very much time. Okay. Instead of that, just you can download the data set and just you can use in your project. So it will give the best result for that one. Okay, that is called as the online data sets are available. Okay. And advanced applications. So what are the advanced data sets and advanced applications here? So the object relational database. So what are the object relational database? That also it is going to consider the temporal database, sequence database, the time series database. The time series database means year wise. Okay, the 2020, 2019, 18, 17, 16, like that, with respect to the time. And a sequence database. Sequence means suppose we are going to forward the any queries, so that it must be give the any a solution for that queries here. Okay, the step by step sequence must be there. The temporal database. Okay, in case of the temporary database, we are going to consider it. The spatial database and again the spatio-temporal database. So the spatial database and again the spatio-temporal database. This also we are going to consider this one. Okay. So in case of the cryptography, okay, we are going to consider the spatial and again the spatio-temporal databases. And again the text database and again the multimedia database. So the text database and again the multimedia database is nothing but the only text it is going to consider, and the multimedia means it is going to cover all the types of the data like videos, audio, and again images. Okay. The heterogeneous databases and again the legacy databases. The heterogeneous means the heterogeneous is called as it should support for all the databases. Okay, what are the different kinds of the data files are there? The database where the data we are going to store by using the different data files. Okay, and again the legacy databases. So whatever the legal, whatever the correct database is there, that also we are going to consider. The data streams. So where the data streams is nothing but the continuously it is going to generate the data, that is called as the data stream here. Suppose we are going to use the any ATM card on the daily basis, we are not going to consider the we are not going to have the transaction by using our ATM card. So within 8 days or within a month, we are going to use the ATM cards. Okay, that ATM card we are not going to consider as the data stream. The data stream is that always it is going to generate the database. Means you can capture the daily temperature. Okay, every second, every time it is the temperature is the a different one. Okay, that is called as the data stream here. Now the World Wide Web. So the World Wide Web I have discussed with you that. So whatever the XML files are there, so that XML files we are going to consider as the web servers here. Okay. So all these kinds of the database we have here. Okay. Just have a look on this on what kinds of the data we are going to work by using the data mining techniques here. So just I've given the time to you to have the observation, one look on this, what kinds of the database we require, and we are going to work with the help of the data mining techniques. Okay. So there are different kinds of the database we have. So we'll see the next point. Now the relational database. So what are the relational database? Here we can see that these are the relational database we are having. Okay, so the relational database is that the DBMS, database management system. It contains a collection of interrelated databases. Okay, the database they are having the different kinds of the relationship between them. For example, you can say the faculty database, a student database, and again the publications database. The faculty database is nothing but name of the faculty, the designation of the faculty, branch of the faculty, okay, where he is going to work, and the subject, name of the subjects, which subjects he is going to teach. Okay, so all these database is called as the interrelated database. And again the student database. So what the student database is that? Suppose the name of the student, the roll number, class, division, the name of the subject, and again the marks. Okay, so all these student database is there. And publications database. So what is the publication means? Suppose the faculty is going to write the any paper, and in which paper he's on in which publication he is going to publish the paper. Okay, that list also we are going to consider this in the publications database. Here means the each database contains a collection of tables. Okay, the every database is going to contain a collection of tables and functions to manage and access the data here. So the functions are like that. So the student bio. The student bio means the student biodata, and again the student graduation, and again the student parking. Okay. So the each table contains the columns and rows. So the this is the structure of the a table. Okay, how the relational database you are going to store? For storing the relational database, we require the a table form. So the table is nothing but it is columns, and again the rows are there with column as attributes. Okay, whatever the columns are there, that columns we are going to consider as the attributes of data, and again the rows are nothing but these are the records are there. The records are nothing but these are the values. Means in the columns you can consider the age of the student. Okay, the age is nothing but these are the attributes of the data here. And in case of the column, we are going to consider the what is the uh, age of a particular student. Okay. Okay, so the each and every table it is going to contain the columns and rows with columns as attributes of data, and again the rows we are going to consider as the records here. Okay. So the tables can be used to represent the relationship between or among multiple tables here. Okay. So the tables can be used to represent the relationships between or among a multiple tables here. Now this is one example of the relational database here. See here how many tables are here. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tables are there. Okay. So this is the relational database for all electronic store. So this is one electronic store. It is going to contain the relational database here. So first name of the table is the customer table is there. Second item table. Third one is the employee table. Next one is the branch table is there. Again the next one we have the purchase table, items sold, and again the work site. Okay. So whatever the columns are there, the columns we are going to consider as the attributes of the data here. So what is the attribute here? Customer ID is attribute, name is the attribute, address is the attribute, age is the attribute, income is attribute, credit info is attribute, and again the category is also the attribute here. And what is the records here? So in the rows we are going to see these values here. So these values are called as the records here. So what is the record in the customer ID? C1. What is the name of this customer here? Smith Sandy. In the address attribute, we have the record is that 1223 Lake Away, Chicago, IL. And in the age, we have the record as the 31. In the income attribute, we have the income is $78,000. The credit info, we have the 1. And again, the category, we are having the 3 here. I mean, this is the relational database we are going to maintain into the table format here. Okay. So this is called as a customer table here. The next item table also we are having the attributes in the columns. So the first of all we can see the what are the attributes here. The item ID, name, brand, category, type, price, place made, supplier, and again the cost. All these attributes and the records are there in the item ID 13. Name is the high Res TV, brand is the Toshiba, category high resolution, type is the TV, price is the $988, place made where in the Japan, who is the supplier of this Nikox, and again what is the actual cost is $600. Okay, means in that way we are going to maintain the relational database here. Okay, like that also you can see the employee table in the same employee ID, name, category, group, salary, commission. In the branch also we can see the branch ID, name, address, and again in case of the purchase, transaction ID, customer ID, employee ID, date, time, method paid, amount. The item sold, transaction ID, and again the item ID, and again the number of quantities. And where the works at, employee ID, and again the branch ID. Means in that way we can maintain the electronic store data in case of the relational database here. Okay. So this is the very easy process. So already we are knowing this one, how we are going to store the data by using the relational database here. Now the relational database is that with a relational query language. For example, so for accessing this RDBMS data, we are going to have the SQL, okay, the structured query language we require. So we will be able to find answers to questions such as, so how many items were sold last year? So that is also possible to retrieve the answer to the how many items were sold last year, and who has earned commissions higher than 10 percentage. Okay, that is also possible to retrieve the answer. What is the total sales of last month for Dell laptops? Okay, that is also possible to retrieve the information. And when data mining is applied to relational databases, we can search for trends or data patterns. Okay, by using the different visual, also possible for searching the trends and again the different data patterns. And relational databases are one of the most and rich information repositories, and thus are a major data form in our relational database. It is a very important point of view for learning the or for applying the data mining techniques onto the relational databases here. Okay. So the next one is the data warehouse. So what is the data warehouse here? So the data warehouse we can see it is also the big repository of information where the data is collected from the multiple resources and it is stored under a unified schema and that visually resides at a single site. Okay, that's why it is called as the data warehouses. Means the data warehouses, it is going to collect the data from the different sources and it is stored at a single platform and it is constructed via a process of data cleaning, data integration, data transformation, data loading, and periodic data refreshing. Okay, means all these process are already applied onto the database, and after applying this all the pre-processing units, then after that processed data source in the Toronto, data source in the Vancouver. Okay, all these multiple resources of the database it is there, and these databases we are going to clean it, we are going to integrate it, we are transform it, we are going to load it, and again we are going to refresh it. After processing all these database here, that all the database we are going to store the data into the flat files, and this center is called as the data warehouse. So onto the data warehouse, by using the graphical user interface, execute the queries on to the data warehouse here. So that's why in the dotted lines we can see here the query and analysis tools. Okay, we can fire the queries on this data warehouse, we can execute it, and we are getting the results to the client here. So in that we are going to store the big data into the data warehouses. Okay, so the data are organized around major subjects. So for example, customer, item, supplier, and activity. It provides the information from a historical perspective, for example, from the past 5 to 10 years. The typically summarized to a higher level, for example, summary of the transactions per item type for each store. And the user can perform drill down or roll up operation to view the data at different degrees of summarization. Means how the we are going to collect the data from the multiple sources, that it is going to listed into the data warehouse here. Okay. So this is the diagram for the data warehouse. So how the multidimensional database we are going to store is. Okay, whatever the cubes we are going to find out here. So these cubes are nothing but your multidimensional database here. So what is the multidimensional database here? So one side we are having the address, other side we are having the time, and again other side we are having the Vancouver database here. And here we can see that is there. Okay, this is the item types. So the item type is the time quarters, that is the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and again the address, that is the countries, and again here we have the computer, security, entertainment, phone. Okay, so in that way we are going to store the data by using the multidimensional cubes here. Okay. And again here also the in case of the address, the cities are there, the time, and again we have the uh, that is the time quarters. Okay, I told you that the quarters are nothing but the 3 months. It is called as a one quarter. Okay, January to March, it is a one a quarter. Okay, like that we have the 4 quarters, that is the quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and again the quarter of 4 year. Okay, so in that way also, instead of the table format also, you can store the data by using the data cubes here. Okay, these are the called as the data cubes. So why the data cube we are going to consider here? So the drill down and again the roll up. Suppose we want the data by using the address, so we can find out the data with related to the USA, related to the Canada. Suppose you want the data we require from the New York, so just you drill up or the drill down, so you will get the required result there. Okay. And suppose you want the data from the quarters here. Suppose how many items are sold in the quarter 1, so you are able to find out immediately here. Okay. So for designing a database, we can use this data, these types of the data cubes. But the table format is the very much important for implementation of the data warehouses here. Okay, that's I want to tell you here. So these are the comparison of the conclusive remark between a table format and again the data cubes here. Okay. Now the last point is about the transactional databases. So what is that? What are the transactional databases? Sources means it consists of a file where each record represents a transaction. The transaction typically includes a unique transaction ID and a list of the items a transaction. The transaction ID is that is 300, and the list of items for that ID here, the 11, 13, I8, okay, I16, all these are the called as the list of items included in the T100 transaction. Again, the T200 transaction we are having the list of items are I2 and again the I8. Okay, like that we are going to have the transactional database. The transactional database we are going to consider the big malls, okay, where you can see the DMarts. Okay, in the DMarts we can see the that a receipt where you are going to purchase the products. Okay, so these are the called as the transactional database here. So it is stored in the either stored in a flat file or unfolded into relational tables, and it is easy to identify items that are there. So this is also the example of the your a smart market intelligence. Okay, so where we are going to apply the transactional database here. Okay, so these are the multiple resources are there for generating the database. Just our aim, our work is that we need to apply the data mining techniques on these types of the databases, and we are going to capture the required information from that. Okay, that is our aim is there. But before that we should know that what are the multiple resources of the database, what is the data warehouse. Okay, so all these kinds of the database we should know that. Okay, now the next one is that the data mining functionalities. I think the time is over. So the data mining functionalities, and I think we will see into the next lecture. Okay, but before that, what we covered in the today's lecture. So in the today's lecture, we covered a typical data mining system architecture. So this is architecture for the data mining, and what is the confluence of multiple disciplines, and what kinds of the data we are going to work. What is the relational database? The example of the relational database, and what is the data warehouse, and what is the data cubes. Okay, and what is the transactional databases. So all these points we have covered in the today's lecture. So shall we stop here? Hello all, are you listening my lecture? Hello, please reply in the chat box. Yes, is there any doubt in this lecture here? Is there any doubt in this lecture? Any problem? Please reply in the chat box. Yes, I am getting the reply from your side. So then shall we stop here? So I request you all, you please drop your name, roll number, and again the division in the chat box so that I can maintain your attendance for today's lecture. And stay home, stay safe at your home. So thank you for patiently listening my lecture. Thank you once again. And those who are giving your attendance, you can leave the meeting. Okay, thank you one and all.